Welcome to the video everyone. I hope you're all sufficiently moist. Please become a humble person who rescues stray animals, and when people compliment you on your good deeds, reply by saying it wasn't possible without Moist Turnip Gaming and that they should like and subscribe. So Far Cry 6, we are all still waiting for some news regarding this game that has more hype than Moist games on the scene right now. You see what I did there? I used Moist instead of Most, because I'm hip and down with the times. However, we are not here to admire my epic lines and how impeccably cool I am. We are here to discuss Far Cry 6 and what players don't want to see in the upcoming game, along with my prediction for this year's release date. I've noticed a lot of people talking on YouTube about when we can expect the next Far Cry game, along with drawn out videos that explain as much as a crack addict does on the complex process of knitting sweaters. Now, I'm not knocking their hustle or anything, so I'd like to dive straight into today's topic, whilst also not passing out from the intense heat as my air conditioner is broke here in Japan. I'm a little bit more moist than I should be. So, we all have our favourite Far Cry game. Some old school players like myself may say Far Cry 2 or 3 for example. Others, more new to the scene, might lean towards Far Cry 5 and New Dawn. But whichever one you prefer, there is something to learn from each of one of them. In my last video on Far Cry 6, I discussed the potential of an urban setting and how trying something new could benefit the new game. However, I never touched on what we definitely don't want to see. But very quickly, I want to touch on the release date, as it's quite clear Ubisoft wants this game to be released this year. They have already booked a spot at this year's E3, and despite having a few games in the works, I'm fairly confident we are going to see Far Cry 6, and not an Assassin's DLC like most people have suggested. The game has been ready for some time now, and I honestly believe that they are taking the time to polish the game whilst a certain virus is mocking havoc across the world. It reminds me of most guys around the world right now polishing themselves with all this free time. My prediction is an E3 appearance and a release date to go with it. Now, as far as what we don't want to see in Far Cry 6, I would argue that climbing radio towers should stay out of it, as this becomes highly repetitive. Instead, I would like to see a new system at play, or rather, lack thereof. I think it would actually be interesting to have a whole map available near the beginning of the game, after the tutorial say. And not like Far Cry 5 where the map was fogged and you're forced into boss battles and being kidnapped every 10 minutes, as it felt very linear and annoying at times. I just want to be able to explore whilst not advancing the story itself by accident just because I blew up a base. Now, the buddy system was okay, but in all honesty, I felt like it was pretty useless in past games, apart from Herc, as he was pretty funny. So maybe replace them with more vehicles or something. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, I'm sure outposts will make a return, and I'll be happy with that, to be honest. However, I don't want them to progress the story. I'd like it to go back to Far Cry 3 and just have them, to give you information and fast travel points. Keep it pretty simple. As far as customization goes, keep it the same regarding skill points. Weapons, on the other hand, I'd love to see places like weapon shops or merchants around the map that are the only places to customize and upgrade, just to make it seem more realistic and challenging. One major thing I don't want to see in the next game is a pointless collectibles. I did enjoy, the Japanese journals in Far Cry 3, however, as they told the history of Rook Island, and I love to see skeletons in bunkers for some weird reason. But the whole collect a bunch of stones for no reason was a bit too much. I want everything I collect to mean something and make a difference in game. I knew a guy in school who collected stamps. He is a single guy, aged 35, and still lives with his grandma. But I suppose being compared to being married, that's actually living the dream. Thanks for watching everyone, and let me know your thoughts on Far Cry 6 in the comments below. Let me know what you want. Remember, moisture attracts the opposite sex. See you in the next video, where I'm keeping it